July is officially Minority Health Month. This is a time in which we are allowed the space to discuss the unique challenges, racial and ethnic minority space pertaining to mental health illnesses we or others around us may be experiencing. So our guests today are joining the conversation. Today we're welcoming Tiara Standish. She's a community activist and CEO and owner of Everything Intricate. Sunshine Clements, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Springfield, and Miss Patricia Doolin, minister, life coach, counselor, and author of Crickets and Then She Cried. Ladies, I am so excited to have you on. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you for having us.
So I want to kind of get into it because we're talking about Minority Health Awareness Month, and unfortunately the month in minority health awareness has become more highlighted more than ever for us right now because of the tragedy of Sonia Massey. And it's not, the story and what has happened to her has not just been heard and seen locally, it's being seen around the world. And I want to take time for you two ladies, Tiara and Sunshine, to kind of talk about what you're seeing and how you're feeling, because you both have been out there on the ground protesting and kind of curating the rallies, peaceful protests that I might add. And you've been on the ground with other people who have been feeling this, who have been saying her name. And so I want to give you space to kind of just say how you feel and what others are feeling. The silence is heard. The silence is heard.
I'll give Tiara space, and I'll go first. And I will say that I appreciate Tiara for offering our community an opportunity to come together. A lot of what people are feeling right now is sadness, anger, frustration, and those are all very valid feelings, and we're taking those feelings and using them by showing up in a positive way for the community and the family, supporting them, being there in person, uplifting them, saying her name. Minority Mental Health Awareness Month is something that, in my opinion, is not taken seriously enough. We say it's okay to not be okay, but we don't show it. So that's something that I really thank you for having us on here to highlight. The mental health of the community that is hurting right now should be paramount. I want to say that, you know, while that there's footage that is out there that's showing Black trauma, you do not have to watch that. Please protect your own mental health. You don't have to ingest that Black trauma in order to know that it was wrong, in order to fight for justice. So please take care of yourself and put your own mental and physical safety first before you take any of those next steps.
Tiara, yeah, I want to go to you on that too, because you have been leading the community to rally, to remember Sonia's name, to make sure that everything is heard. How do you feel?
I'm tired. We've been out there restlessly with the family, just trying to provide, like Sunshine said, a positive space for people to express their anger and their emotions. Our whole community is broken behind this. We need mental health resources and just trying to make those available to our community.
You work a lot with other organizations and even with Everything Intricate to help people with mental health illnesses and how they're, you know, handling it. You've seen this before, I'm sure, and so talk about the importance of really rallying together around those people and making sure that we are highlighting them and uplifting them.
Yeah, what we do at Intricate Minds, we're based in harm reduction, and what that is just reducing the harm of different things that are going on in our community. So the peaceful protests have been harm reduction, and that we're trying to, again, provide positive spaces for people to express themselves and reduce the harm in our community that this trauma has caused.
Ms. Patricia, I want to talk about one word Tiara said: I'm tired. I'm tired, she's tired, we're tired, and we're tired for multiple reasons surrounding something like this. We see it all the time. And I was just telling someone at first, I feel like I was scared for my brothers, but now I feel afraid for sometimes other people just in general, other men and women. How do we break down our feelings when we're feeling tired, when we're feeling like we have to watch Black trauma, when we're feeling scared?
Well, first of all, I think you need to acknowledge those feelings. Give yourself space to feel and to express those feelings. And then I want to piggyback on what Sunshine said. we're not required to expose ourselves to things that will cause us trauma, that will trigger either mental or emotional responses. You need to protect your eye gate and your ear gate and the things that you read and the things that you watch in order to start your healing process. And I say, you know, healing is a lifelong process or a lifelong journey. And in order for you to start that healing process, you have to, again, guard the things that you ingest and start speaking those things as though they are that aren't. And it's like a cycle. The words that you speak, your mind begins to believe, your spirit or your soul will transform, and then your body and your decisions will follow suit. And so you have to give yourself space, again, to feel those emotions. And, you know, when you're dealing with grief and trauma, there are so many different stages: acknowledgement, denial, depression, bargaining. Is it my fault? If I would have done this, this wouldn't have happened. And everybody experiences those stages, but not in the same way. And everyone has to process and go through the process of healing and dealing with those traumas that come forth based on the events that they are experiencing.
This is a lot to take in, but I feel like talking about the first steps in healing for our community and individually is very vital. But where do you guys see the need for work to be done in our communities?
I think a lot of mental health services are going to be needed. We're working to create a group therapy setting at Intricate Minds starting next month so that people can come in, vent, talk to a therapist about what they're going through. We also have a King's Corner. It's a men's mental health group just for men, and just trying to curate more resources for mental health, especially in the Black community.
And that's one of the things that I was going to say, is that we as a community have to create those safe spaces for people to be able to express how they're feeling and then to get the assistance and aid that they need in order to move forward.
Can we talk about, really quickly, just about mental health issues in people around us, not even just ourselves? I think sometimes we're wrapped up in what we're feeling, but there are people who really struggle with mental health around us. And whether they tell us or not, are there ways that we can help them if we come into contact or interactions with them? Sure.
Upon entering that type of situation, or your family members or friends, coworkers, what have you, you have to treat them with patience and understand that it is an actual medical condition. And the same way that you would care for someone who would be unfortunately diagnosed with cancer, you treat them with care and love, and you give them space and understanding, and you support them as a community or as a family. You have to do the same thing with those who are suffering from mental illness. We have to become more educated. We have to be more understanding of where they are. We have to accept the situation from where they're coming from. We have to take some ownership to it and not feed into the stereotype and use the words that are damaging to them.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Sandra.
I love what you said. I also want to add in that sometimes situations like this can be triggering for someone that does not have a history of a mental illness. So I think we need to be treating people with that space and grace and that care and that gentleness, regardless of whether we think they might have a mental health concern at the time, because these videos are triggering. It can bring up feelings of PTSD in people just simply from having been through these type of situations and witnessed this at a community level. Whether you knew intimately the person that this happened to or not, it is still something that collectively as a community we are experiencing and moving through together. So I love what you said, and I want people to take that and also apply it whether they think someone has a mental health concern or issue or not, and also destigmatizing our language that we use, you know, calling people crazy or, you know, things like that. It's very damaging, and it makes people not want to be as open or vulnerable as they need to be in order to potentially get the help that they need. So I just want to call out and, you know, give each other space and grace, and let's be gentle with each other, love on each other, support support each other. We're seeing a lot of that within our community right now, and I want that to be something that we continue to carry on past the moments of these next upcoming weeks.
Perfect. Yeah.
And just also, I wanted to add on just helping to remove the stigma that surrounds mental health in the Black community. A lot of people are scared to ask for help because of the responses that they get from our own people a lot. So just giving people grace and removing that stigma, because if we remove the stigma, more people are likely to get help.
I think that personally, I've always heard people say, you're a strong Black woman, you gotta be a strong Black woman, you gotta be strong, but then knowing you need to have help and knowing, okay, I'm not always strong, or I probably got some anxiety, or I'm feeling stress, and identifying it can be tough, even for yourself, because it's like, okay, what's wrong with me? Because I'm not that strong Black woman everybody wants me to be. So it's tough. And so I really do commend you ladies for everything that you're doing in the community individually and as a group as a whole. You guys have been doing an amazing job, and I thank you so much for what you're doing. And thank you, Ms. Patricia, too. Yes. And people at home, I want you guys to just really take in everything, take in the meat, leave the bones for whatever you need, and know that there is help. We'll have more information on our website where you can find help if you are having any type of triggers, any type of mental illness crisis, or if you simply just want to talk to somebody about how you're feeling. Head over to our website. We'll have direct links to where you can get some help, and we'll see you right after this.
Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.